Hi, everybody. Gene's is like super lazy today, so I have to introduce the show. I'm Kelly Toole, and you are here on Bring Out Your Geek. We are walking, talking comics, and we're going to be talking about issue number 55 today. Boy, this didn't seem that hard to do at all.
It's not.
It's not.
Oh,
I don't know why I can't do it. I just need some help.
drama. All right. Okay. So the cover,
Yes. Moving on.
yes. Moving right along. The cover is camping.
Camping. Eugene sitting on the top of a truck.
Is it Abraham?
I'm
I
sorry.
think it's Abraham.
Abraham.
He's got the big gun. I don't think they'd let Eugene have the big gun.
Eugene's watching him sit on the truck because that's what he does.
He does. He watches.
Abraham on the truck, and we got a zombie in the rearview mirror, which is kind of nice.
I like how they made he's got his back to you and he's sitting on the hood of the truck, and then so you see the rearview mirror and what the driver would see, and it's actually The Walking Dead is in orange, and then everything that's in the rearview mirror is orange. So it's I like how they did that.
And the zombie would actually be larger than he appears.
That's true. So he's a little bit closer there.
So that's because if you look at that, the head kind of fills the rearview mirror, so that's like a mammoth-headed zombie.
And he's got two behind him too. It's
a crew.
Yeah. It's a little band.
Yes, and clearly it's Abraham because there's the manly V shape that is Abraham.
Well, he's got the camo pants on too. So, yeah. All right.
If they were camo jorts, it could be Eugene. But
we can't go backwards to the jorts. I can't.
You don't want to talk jorts again?
Never.
All right, fine.
Never again. We leave the jorts at the prison. That's it. Done.
All right. It's a choice. I guess we can do it that way.
All right. So we open up, and it looks like Carl's about, I don't know, 4?
He's small. Little idiot Carl running around.
Little idiot Carl. So nice. Yes, he's very tiny, and he's running out into the street from the house. A house.
One might think a mother be keeping an eye on Carl right now, perhaps.
I'm seeing a pattern. Seeing a pattern there, yeah. Yeah. Kind of as per usual, we get the kind of damn it, Carl from Rick as he goes chasing after him. Yeah.
And then he goes in to kind of have the deep, meaningful, intellectual talks he has with Lori. I couldn't protect him. We're still back to angsty, worthless Rick, and he couldn't protect him. But it turns out that it's not really Lori. Well, it is Lori, but it's zombie Lori, Walker Lori.
Yeah, she's all, come here, let me kiss you. And then she starts getting all gross.
Let's Rick know that not only could he not protect Carl, you couldn't protect me.
Yeah, and she's all like rotting and holes in her face, and then she tries to eat him.
Yeah. And while she's eating him, Rick says, I deserve this.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, if I'm being digested, if I'm being consumed by a zombie, I just anticipate I would be less self-reflective. I think I'd be saying things like, ow, stop it.
Get off me. Yeah, she's
biting me.
He's laying flat on his back. He's not fighting her at all, and she is digging into his abdomen and pulling out handfuls of things and shoving them in her mouth. Very greedily, it looks like. And he's just going, I deserve this. I deserve this.
So then a little tear goes down our eyes as we read it. And we move on to Rick waking up. It was just a nightmare.
Aw, poor guy. Yeah, so he decides he's going to get up and get out of his tent, and scares Abraham a little bit because Abraham about ready to shoot him.
Yeah.
Whoa, it's me.
It's a little on the tightly wound side, so I think you want to kind of make any approach to Abraham give as much advance notice as possible.
Well, it's, still sort of pre-traffic gnome, so he's very high strung. You think he relaxes a little bit after that?
Yeah. Yeah, although comic Abraham never goes full garden gnome.
No, he doesn't.
Like TV Abraham, the sad Abraham sitting in the road
In the
as
middle
a
of the
garden
street.
gnome.
I'm calling him a traffic gnome because he just sits right there and just in the road.
And he's orange-ish,
Yeah,
like a traffic cone. So
he's a ginger. All right, so yeah, Rick says, "Hey, stop, it's me," and basically, I'll take over for you. I can't sleep anyway. And Abraham's like, "Oh, twist my arm, fine, I'm out of here, bye." And that gives Rick the opportunity to pull out the phone.
That's right, because he's got minutes left, obviously. And so decides to give old Lori a ring, and they begin to chat. And possibly my favorite quote, I don't know, I think probably Negan has my favorite quotes in the entire comic. I think we'd probably go to that. But my favorite non-Negan quote in the entire comic comes in this issue, and it's when Rick says to Lori, "You started eating me."
Yeah, you were dead. You started eating me.
Right.
He looks really upset too. He's like,
Yeah,
still going through it.
So obviously, I think this is your call, but "You started eating me" might be a good episode title for this particular.
Excellent. Okay. Yeah, apparently he felt the need to call her and let her know.
Yeah, which she probably should have known since she was the eater. But
yeah.
And so then Rick asks imaginary Lori via the non-connected telephone, "Am I crazy?" To which imaginary Lori acts a lot like real Lori and says, "Yeah, at least a little bit." So that typical supportive Lori we've all come to know and love.
Yeah. She's glad she's gone.
Yep.
And he says, "I have to stop doing this." So he kind of has an idea that this is headed to Crazyville a little bit. But obviously, I mean, since this is, he picked up the phone to call her.
Yeah.
He's sort of fine with that to some degree.
Yeah. And since he's really driving all this conversation, and the other part of the puppet, Lori Rick, is saying, yeah, you're crazy. Yeah, I think he's got it that I need to stop doing this. And then Glenn comes, sleepily out. "Oh, it's time for me to take over." And Rick is like so almost busted, but sends him on his way. Says, "Nah, I got this. You can go back to bed."
Yeah.
And Glenn was like, "Sure, sounds good to me."
It took me a minute too, because they don't actually show Glenn's face. He's just rubbing his eyes, and all you see is like the weird crew cut. It took me a second. I was like, "Who is that?" Oh, all right. That crew cut, man.
It's not a look. It's not a good look, especially comic crew cut. Not good.
No, it looks really. I don't know. It's not a good thing. He looks like super young too with that. Like a little kid.
It's just it's not a good look for our friend Glenn. But he gets back to the tent. "What you doing, Maggie?" Kind of his thing. She's sad, and she's like, "Just hold me."
Blah blah blah.
Blah 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 blah. So then morning comes. Blah blah. Motion support. Blah 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 blah. So, then morning comes. Thank God, all that stuff's done. And Glenn's like, "Well, man, it was just crazy last night. I could have swore I saw you talking on a phone." And there's the panel of Stink Eye Carl, just giving dirty look.
I love the answer because he's like, "Yeah, weird. I don't know." It's like,
and Carl's just like, "Dad, are you talking on the phone again?"
Yeah, really. And then there's a quick exchange between Rick and Abraham, where Abraham's like, "Hey, don't steal our tents,
buddy, pal."
Dude. Yeah.
Eugene, come over, Mister, don't you steal our tent.
Yeah, and Rick uses some very colorful language to tell him what he can do.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought it was kind of funny because as Abraham's walking away, Rick is looking down at Carl. And he's like, "What? Like I don't know. So you missed something. I don't know if it's Carl's giving him a look or if he said something and they just glazed over it. But basically, Carl says, like, I don't like that guy. He's weird."
This coming from Carl. So,
Yeah.
So that's saying something.
Yeah. And then we skip straight into being on some street in a town somewhere.
A little scavenging going on, and
Yeah.
I think it's Michonne. My note before the show, Gene and I were talking, and I was kind of reviewing my notes. And this particular line, I was having a little difficulty reading what I had tried to capture, but apparently during that time, and I believe it was Michonne that said it.
Yes.
It was this idea of, there's like a knife store, because what town doesn't have a knife store, and they had cleaned all those out, but they had left all the sharpeners, and she's like, they left all the sharpeners, no one thinks ahead. It's a pretty good point.
You need sharpeners.
It would be wise.
Yeah, I mean, especially given the fact that, I mean, you're stabbing things in the head. I mean, skull bone isn't exactly, I don't know, that's some tough, you got to use some force, and I would imagine a few of those would dull a blade pretty quickly.
Now, is it skull bone or is it just skull?
Skull, well, it's bone. It's still, your skull is still a bone. I mean, it's thicker in some areas, it's thinner in other areas. It's just,
But I don't call it foot flesh.
Foot flesh?
Foot flesh. So, I don't know.
All right.
We can research that. I'm fine with skull bone if you want another good title for the episode. And Eugene's getting all zombie science-y, kind of like, well, this one doesn't appear to be doing this, and blah, 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 blah.
Blah, 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 yak, yak, yak.
And they kind of get through the whole naming convention. And so this is one of the interesting things that in the comic, the word zombies does appear a few times.
Yes, it does.
Not a lot. This is one issue where it does.
Yeah.
And they're going through zombies, lurkers, roamers, with lurkers being the stationary grab you while you walk by zombies, and roamers being the walk around. Biters are good, but biters seem to be TV governor construct. I think that's where biters came from.
Yeah.
What's your favorite undead label, Jeans?
I kind of like lurkers because they're like a surprise. Because it's always a surprise, like they're always trying to sneak past one, and I mean, during this whole thing, every single time they try and sneak past one, it comes to life. It sort of gets out of whatever coma it was in, smells food, and goes and they're always surprised. So I'm gonna go with lurkers because I think that's my favorite kind of zombie.
That's pretty good. I think I'd go with Ramblin' Man. From the Steve Martin comedy album where he's singing the I'm a Ramblin' Man, RABLIN apostrophe, a Ramblin', because I could just see that song playing on as they were rambling. But Lurkers is pretty good. Biters is pretty good.
Yeah.
Roamers don't like roamers really.
No, roamers. And and it's funny too because I mean when you say zombie in a tweet while you're watching the show, like the super fans get like really upset with you, but if you've read the comics, it's in there. It's not, they don't ignore that phrase, so it's sort of funny. I don't know. And now Eugene decides he's gonna science.
Yep, the Eugene science we all know and love. He's gonna figure more stuff out because he's a human genome expert.
Yeah.
And then Glenn kind of goes, where's Maggie? Haven't seen Maggie. Need to find Maggie. So he goes for a little walk into the forest.
True.
And we leave the issue with him not yet discovering anything, but we're tipped off.
Yes. Yeah, we're tipped off.
So that was a cat.
Shadow.
Gonna have to check at the end of the show to see exactly what she did. But whatever it was bad because she left in a hurry. So that can't be good.
So there's a shadow outline of somebody with very short hair hanging from a tree behind him. And is just as a quick recollection from the prison, Glenn shaved his head, and she cut hers pretty short. So I think they wanted to kind of look like it might be her. It does definitely have a female silhouette in the chest. So I think they kind of want you to think that.
Yep. So we'll find out more next issue.
Yeah.
It's been a while since we've done one of these.
I know.
Maybe have to do the next one a little quicker. So.
Yeah, I think so. Keep up with these because we're headed into Negan territory.
Yes.
And so is the show. So.
Yes. We got to kind of get that squared up as much as we can. It would be nice.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Negan. So do I have to do the outro too?
Yes.
Hey, so be sure to join us all next time, whenever that is, for the next issue of Walking Talking Comics on Bring Out Your Geek. Thanks for listening, everybody.